Welcome back, guys. You are locked in again with Mushin Karate for episode 4. Myself hosting Jamal and the 30th co-host again, the gaffer, Mr. Gavindbailey.
Bro, you know I couldn't miss this one. This one is close to home.
This one's very close to home, LA.
Home.
This is a big one. So today's episode, we are discussing the male lightweight fighters that had already achieved their Olympic qualification prior to COVID. Okay, so the first athlete that we're going to be discussing today is Darkan Asidalov, minus 60, Kazakhstan. I'm just going to get straight into it. So we're going to get into his medal overview. He didn't really compete as a junior. Well, according to Sport Data, he doesn't really have any junior medals. But at Series A level, 2 bronzes, 2 golds. Premier League level, 5 bronzes, 3 silvers, 6 gold medals. At continental level, 1 bronze, and at world level, 1 bronze, 1 silver. Darkan is dark. He darks people up. I'll be honest.
He's dark.
How fitting is it that his name is Darkan? Because I honestly see him dark up enough, man. Like he is levels. One of the first things that I noticed, is that the span of performance.
Yeah.
Bro.
I was going to touch on that, but I'll let you.
Man took a medal, yeah? Nah, deep it. Man took a silver medal at 2008 World Championships, Tokyo. Took a silver medal, yeah? And then kind of fell off. Like, you didn't really... in comparison to the other minus 60s, your Douglas Broses, your Amirs, Iran... the people who come to mind straight away, he wasn't necessarily one of them. 2012 times 14. Bro, 2008 silver medal. A decade later, 2018, has taken a medal at another World Championships. Longevity. And outside of that, let's actually look at what he's been doing in recent time. The activeness. Like... Darkan's been mashing work. No, scrap that. Darkan's been mooshing work.
Work.
You understand the word there. He's been mooshing work.
And you know what I think it is? It's like this section is jam-packed. But if you was to ask me 2-3 years ago, pick someone to be at the top, it's not the name I would have picked. But it just shows you, like, there's a new hunger. It's like he's been reignited. And he's on for something. Like, there is something that is maybe promised to him when he gets to this position. And he's just been darking, man. Like moving man up consistently.
like it's so mad to think about. Like I've actually been putting some thought into his career, and it's like, because karate changes over time. Yeah. So he took a medal in 2008, but karate in 2008 to 2018 is 2 completely different things.
Yeah.
And we know how quickly transitions happen with different rule changes, things that come into trend.
Yeah.
Like for an example would be like 2015, 2016 time, I would say like the French team, the Turkish team were drilling front leg, taking that front leg before the Kazami, and not just on a decoration one. Like a lot of people tap the front leg, but it's decoration, These athletes were moving the front leg. Like I see myself, I see Jesse DaCosta, Logan, all of them, the Turkish team, they were creeping in and literally like moving the front leg, unbalancing people, then licking them Kazami, like 2016 times. Then all of a sudden, it's like reacting to triggers became like the thing. Like you already had timing techniques, but reacting to a trigger, and what we would define as a trigger is anything that really breaks the danger point of distance between you and your opponent. So that could be them kicking your leg, touching your hand, lifting up the knee, all of these little feints, these are triggers. And what people started to do is attack these triggers. So the moment someone goes to tap your leg, you go first. And you see that, for example, in European Games minus 67 final between Stephen Acosta and Barak. Because one of the points, or 2 of them that he scored, he caught him on a trigger. And at this point, no one could really trouble Stephen like that. I know 2015 Istanbul Europeans, he lost to bronze. He lost for bronze to Spain. But outside of that, and especially taking into consideration his junior performances, like Don was mad consistent. And you saw how effective attacking someone on the trigger is, because you're not giving them that room to deceive you, bring your attention downstairs or up or whatever. People started attacking on the triggers. Then people acknowledged that. So then people start using triggers to set up bigger techniques.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna give you the first trigger, 1. I'm gonna give you the second one, 2. But on this third one, when you commit, 3, I'm leaning back, I'm catching you with the ura. And you see many fighters do that, Sajidin Saimatov, that kind of rule of 3 that we'll definitely go into at another time. But the point that I'm making is karate changes like rapidly. Like, things that people are doing this year, 3 years later, do you know what I mean? You see that transition. And so to be consistent
over that span of time, and adapt to how the sport is evolving, like, it's just mad impressive. Do you know what I mean? It's mad impressive. Well, let me give you another stat. Of the people in the top 5 rankings of this Olympic ranking, his silver medal at the World Championships in 2008 was silver, wasn't it?
Yeah, silver.
Was before any of them were competing.
Yeah.
Including junior careers.
Wow.
I would say, if we took it like the Turkish, like Samdan, he was probably still in primary school.
Yeah, he to be fair, he probably would have been about 11 in 2008.
I would even go lower, maybe even say 8.
Nah, he weren't that young.
I would even say 8.
2008, how old was you?
2012.
No, you wasn't. 2008, I was 13.
No, I'm lying.
I said 12.
2008, I was 16.
You were 16, I was about 13, yeah. So them man, 11, 10, young.
Primary school?
Yeah, primary school, year 6 times.
I'm actually working a World Championship, and then I'm coming to the World Championship when you're fighting and still mashing work.
Still mashing. Like, I'm seasoned. Like, really, you lot are supposed to be rapping me up.
This lodging me out, telling me...
You lot should be telling me...
Give me them beatings, and it's like, no, Dad, you need to retire.
Yeah,
like,
new sheriff in town, you feel me?
And that's what I'm saying. But anyway, get into the rest of what is his profile to get him to this point, because he's on 1,000 points. So I'm sure the viewers want to know the rest of his CV.
Yeah, come, let's do it. So his all-time podium percentage is at 56.8. The average for the minus 60 category is 33.5. And the average for all of the male competitors that are ranked in the top 10 is 33.8. So he's really ahead of the curve, again, like we expected. 2020 podium percentage was 100%. How many events did he compete in 2020? Cool, I got it here. 4. Yeah, so 4 out of 4. Won 20 rounds in 2020.
2 finals.
And 2 finals and 4 out of 4 medals. So again, you could see he was continuing what he had done in 2019 and 18, yeah, because he was going in 2019 performance percentage was 75%. His 2019 podium percentage was 75%. The average of the minus 60 category is 35. The average of the top 10 pound for pound males is 67.8. So even then, Don is a good 8% ahead of like...
And like, it's a resurgent. It's almost like an orchid. Because you know when you buy an orchid and you plant it, it blooms and it dies.
Okay.
And people think that's the end. But it's not the end. If you nurture that stem, it will rebloom again.
Okay.
It might take a couple months. This time we're spanning a decade, let's say. And he's come back with... maybe it could even be a recycled style. Because he could have been applying himself the same way back in 08.
Yeah, back in...
So he's just reverting back to the basics that he knows. That's why he's become a prominent player in this division.
No, but it's like the way in which he's dominating competitors, something different has clicked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like at some point he went to the drawing board and the formula just came together.
Came to him.
Like, the formula just came, and he took that formula, applied it. Different.
That's what I'm going to say. And especially, it must be very difficult for the younger athletes in the section to think.
Yeah, because you've got Kesar, I can't remember his surname. First name is Kaysar, and his surname begins with A, yeah? He's from Kazakhstan, and he fights -60 as well, yeah? He is a techie fighter. He's sick, bro. Like, honestly, like, Kazami's litty, like, timing is sick, mad quick, young, like, legs come up rapid. Do you get me? So, yeah, like, you got young boys that are coming up knocking. Like, is it my turn yet?
Man said the door's still locked.
But do you know, when it is their turn, yeah, Kaysar will go clear.
Yeah.
Because he spent this whole time
Just watching.
being governed by Darkhan. Yeah. Again, it's that pass the baton moment. By the time he's ready to pass the baton, Kaysar, he's laughing, man. Because he does his thing anyway. Do you know what I mean? He's already ranked in the top 10.
Yeah.
Like, currently, right now. I'm pretty sure.
He's even higher on this Olympic ranking. And again, it's a testament to whatever they're doing in this country. And you know, with the modernization and the technology and being able to see the drills that the French are doing or the Turkish or the Iranians are doing and practice that in your dojo. Maybe they have gone out and got some international coaches from elsewhere and brought them back. Because I know, what's his name, from France was coaching them for a while.
Oh, my man, that's Farouk's older brother, isn't it? Yeah. Abdelassam is their surname.
Their surname, yeah. He was coaching them.
Tariq. Yeah.
He was coaching them for a while. I don't know if he still is or continues.
I think he is. The last video that I saw, and there was a fight from Kazakhstan. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Actually, I take it back. I don't want to. I'm not too sure.
But again, it's bringing in that extra element of a diverse.
Yeah. Like,
and and again, I've never been to Kazakhstan, but the lifestyle. This could be an escape. Like you can see that all of the fighters, the common trait, they're pretty physical. Yeah, they're up for a bit of a scrap. If you want to be scrappy, If you want to trade,
we can do that as well.
We can trade.
Like I've got the IQ to dash you. Yeah. But if you want to get brazy, we can get brazy.
And you're gonna come off worse than I am. Like that confidence. When I see them, even when I see them dust off the gi, you know, yeah, he could put a hole in me if he intended to. And again, but they've mixed that now with a European flair with a new coach, you know, the analysis of what's out there. And they're coming with these athletes again in all the sections that we looked at. They're rising in the rankings. And it could be maybe that it's too late for them to have a full team out there. But if it was in another 2-3 years, I could definitely see them as a player to have 2 or 3, if not 4 athletes qualify for the Olympic Games.
Yeah, 100%. And what you're explaining now is like everyone's in a position where there are so many avenues to extrapolate information from and reapply in your own setting and to adapt and to taper to suit your setup or your fighting style. Like, information is just so accessible, and you can see the influence of that in the fighters globally. It's crazy. Let's go into some more of his stats. So, he's been winning 66.7% of his finals. So again, anything over 50%, healthy, yeah. Mm-hmm. But the average for the -60 category is 43.3. So on average, the fighters in -60 on average don't hold down more than 50% of their finals.
Yeah.
Unless you're Darkhan Asidilov. Levels, yeah. And
it's just everything. When you look at the conceded, very low.
Yeah.
Very low.
Look, 2019 averaging conceding 2.8. 2.8.
That's an iron defense. If this was trading cards, his defensive stat would be 10 out of 10. Imagine karate trading cards.
Yeah.
I don't. Super in production. Yeah,
that's the thing. But I know, but imagine, yeah, you're right. He's conceding 2.8, yeah, but he's scoring on average 15.5.
Which means it's not only is it gapping people, but it's comfortability. He can mix it up, he can change it up, he can blend, he can do what the situation requires, but you're still not going to score.
Yeah.
If you require me to hit you with a head kick slasher in the opening, I'm going to take that, but you're still not going to score. And again, it's that confidence. And as you can see, maybe from the long career, been here, I've seen it all, I've done it all. Yeah. It fills in with this being of confidence, but numbers are phenomenal.
Yeah, 2019 K1 medal percentage 85.7. The average of the top males, pound for pound, 69.5. Like, he's literally ahead
of the curve
of nearly every single factor. The only factors I would say that he isn't necessarily ahead of is the percentage of finals won.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Central Finals 166.7, which is phenomenally high, but the average of the top 10 males is 90%. So that's mad high. But irrespective, he sits in this cohort anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He sits in this cohort. This is where that's where he hangs. Like, it's crazy, man. 164 rounds. 164 rounds in 2019. And the average of the top 10 pound for pound
It's
51. Ugh.
And this is what I'm saying, consistent delivery. So he's had his phase of inconsistency. It looks like he's been in and out of the sport, dripping in and out, in and out, in and out. But then, again, maybe this is with the Olympic injection, the funding, the ability to level the playing field. All these years he was competing at uneven and getting results. But now the playing field is a bit level. It shows you that, okay, well, yes, Turkey, you've been on top for a while, but you might have had this. Now I've got mine. Chat to me now. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because that's what it seems like to me. Because when I think of great minus 60s, I think of the two young Turkish we got at the moment. There was the Italian who Bros fought in the 2010 final. His name escapes me now. Bald head, small guy.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I got you.
And there's been such a great legacy of minus 60 fighters. Even when you look back in England, you got Paul Newby who was there around, and there was the Iranian at Newby's time.
Hassani? No, that's
Rouhani.
not Rouhani.
I think it's Rouhani. Yeah, but there was great. And then now you're thinking, Kazakhstan. It's not a name you would associate, but when you balance the playing field and the raw ability of the individuals comes to light, he's showing you that, listen, 2019, I'm doing my thing. 2020, I'm going to do my thing. And the Olympic year, I'm going to do my thing.
It's not even
like, you need to bring your thing, because if you don't bring yours, I'm a win. And then someone's going to be on Question of Sport talking about my man's World Championship first medal was in 2008 and wins 2021 Olympics.
Crazy, innit?
In a combat sport.
In a combat sport.
Phenomenal. Deserves his position at the top.
And like you said earlier, when you was talking about just conditions of certain nations and the just the conditions of certain countries that people are coming from, it's like when you make them comparatives. Yeah, I was watching a video on how's the name gone? Because what's my man's name that broke the world record for the marathon from Kenya? And he used to run like 5,000 and 10,000 indoor, and then he lost like an Olympic Games or something, and he decided to transition to outdoor marathon running. Yeah, and basically this story is so mad. Yeah, I'll go back and revisit it so I can speak about it in depth.
His name is Belike.
Yeah, something similar.
Yeah.
Or Baku. We're acting like we ain't got Google, you know.
Yeah.
Like, anyway,
we know who we're talking about. Yeah.
So basically, it was a situation where like the world record that had existed for the marathon was something like a century old, like it was mad old, and they wanted it broken. So like honestly, it was like some anime, bro. Like they literally the top runners in the world all came together to be support runners for him to break this record. So like he's running, and every now and again his support runners are dropping off and fresh ones are coming in, but these are not any guys. These are all former world champions, former Olympic medalists that are running with him, but they knew to break this record, this guy is the best shot that we have in it, and we're going to push him through to do this in it. And when you compare the levels, you look at the climate in Kenya that he's used to running in, where he chose to run, the time zone was about an hour difference, but the altitude was completely decreased. Like, it's light work for him. And that's why when we were younger and we were going to like Junior World Championships in Malaysia 2011, even Indonesia 2015, you're traveling to these places and you're getting here and you're stepping off the plane and the heat is licking you. Like you take that first breath and it's still like, yo, that's different. Do you know what I mean? So when they're coming, so now when these fighters are coming into Europe, like these conditions are light for them. They're light. Like this is nothing. This is nothing. It's nothing.
And not even that. I've heard alleged stories on my journeys of people telling me that in their countries it's war torn. They're sleeping with AKs. What you think? If I mash this karate work, I'm able to move my family out of the area.
It's not recreational.
This is life.
This is life.
And that's what I'm saying. The guy you're looking for is called Kiperich.
Nah. What is that his first name? Oh, Belike.
Belike is the Ethiopian runner.
No.
But the Kenyan one is called Kippage.
Yeah, it is. How embarrassing. Yeah, it
But
is.
Belike is the one you'll remember because he's the one
Because
who was mashing.
he used to mash work.
Yeah, top to top.
He used to mash work. But yeah, you're right. That is his name. Yeah, but that story is just really fascinating.
And for me, it's togetherness. And I think, like you say, well, let's talk about the Kazakhstan community. Obviously, the Darkhan is, you would say, their poster athlete. But the rest of them now, that they're feeding off this thing, and they're coming up, and names
The
are
whole
popping up in
team's coming
sections,
up.
and you're thinking,
Correct me if I'm wrong, yeah, but I feel like this situation with Darkhan came out of nowhere. I'm not sure if it's just me that maybe other people anticipated it and saw the development, yeah. But for me, it's like it just snapped. That all of a sudden he was just smashing work, and you're right. When you look at the rest of the Kazakhstan team, yeah. People are making moves, man. Like, you got Sofia in plus 68, like doing her thing. They got 2 -84s that are ranked in the top 10. Danya Yodashev and Igor Shikamarev. If I've mispronounced their names again, I apologize.
2 at 67 as well. That Didier is one of them.
Yeah,
and this is what I'm saying. But then, not only that, it's like the other nations supporting. So obviously Uzbekistan, which is quite close now, obviously it's got Sadruddin, it's got Daston,
Right,
-75. Like, it's all like bridging this kind of gap, because if you really looked at it in terms of a landmass, if you put them all together, they probably got the same amount of quality as somewhere like an Iran or a Turkey.
Yeah.
But it just so happens that they're all spread out. But again, I think there's a bit of commodity between them where they do get together and they do work hard and they know where they're coming from. It's just great to see for the sport.
100%.
The global aspect of the sport.
Yeah.
But anyway, he deserves his spot on the top.
2019 as well. Let's add this: 3 clear sheets. How many people have we actually assigned this accomplishment to? This is not light, man. Like I said, you're competing at the highest level, at the pinnacle of the sport, and you're ending your day going back to your hotel room knowing, are you silly? I did this. So what? You're going to big boy competitions, like I said before, everyone's going through the same preparation, and you've gone and wrapped up, and then you're going to go back to your hotel room, get back to your room, sit down and actually think to yourself, rah.
No one scored them today.
I didn't drop a point today. That is levels. That is levels.
No one scored them today, Just by the way.
Absolute levels. The data speaks for itself. His performances speak for themselves. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Let's speak about. Yeah.
Said the respect is already put on man's name. He didn't have to say it.
I ain't even got to say his name. Come on, man. Come on. We're talking Stephen Da Costa.
Yeah. And you know what? Yeah. It's I wouldn't say. It's like. The only way I can equate it to a more neutral fan is if you think of like modern day football, and you got your Messis and your Ronaldos, and that's kind of more like your Agayevs and your Boussis.
Yeah.
But now you've got Haaland and Mbappe, who are doing things that are generational.
Yeah.
A genuine generational talent. I mean, we've seen the junior CV. We'll get into that. But we've seen it. Let's just put it there. Then to transition straight away into seniors.
Hey, you're going to gas me still.
Phenomenal. But again, and I think it's a very unique case because you never really see natural talent and hard work combined. But firsthand, I've seen some of the hard work that goes into the package that is Stephen Da Costa. And the natural talent just shines through some of the almost arrogance of the techniques that he's throwing against people that he's throwing them against. Because I've seen him, multiple top level athletes, back step forward and hit man with an Uro and wash.
Yeah.
No setup. Yeah. Like,
innit? No setup.
No cover.
Yeah, no testing.
Pull,
no testing.
Step, kick.
And you know who he's hitting?
This is what I'm saying.
I see him hit Vinicius with that. I see him hit Venezuela, Andreas Madeira. Yeah, I see him licking with that at the World Games. I've seen him hit Jordan with that at Basel.
And this is what I'm saying. it's almost arrogance.
It's crazy,
Because
man.
it's like,
so crazy.
I don't even need to hide it. Because you know what? You can't stop it. And if you do stop it, you're going to get it in this fight. Just know you're going to get it. And again, I'll let you get into his CV because...
Nah, let me be honest, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try and be as precise as possible, car. I could dedicate a whole episode to talking about Stephen Da Costa levels. Like, if we're really gonna do this, we've got to paint the picture.
Yeah.
We've got to paint the picture for the people so they really understand. Okay, cool. You got sport data up.
Yeah.
Because as I go through the medals overview, we have to paint this picture chronologically. Because chronologically, this is something different, yeah. So at junior continental level, 1 silver, 4 golds, straight finals. Actually, I missed something because I know that he took a bronze at Junior Worlds Malaysia. Oh yeah, it's there.
Junior Worlds, yeah.
Yeah, Malaysia, he took a bronze, yeah. Cool. So Junior Continental, straight finals, yeah. 1 silver, 4 golds. Junior Worlds, a bronze, a silver, and a gold, yeah. And we know we saw him take that gold in 2013 Guadalajara.
9-0.
Hey, listen, this is what I'm saying. There's just so many layers to this conversation right now, yeah. I don't know what to talk about. Then obviously we see him take his silver in Indonesia against Barak, and this was the most telling part of his career. No, not even 2-1. Barak licked him with the Ura.
Yeah,
he caught him with the Ura.
Yeah.
But then it might have been 2-1 a couple months later because he lost to Barak again in the final of Cyprus 2016 under 21 Europeans, yeah? Cool. And Barak had bested him Baku European Games as well. This is what I'm saying. Even this year, this is such a big part of the journey because this was the adversity, this was the trial, and the first trial
kind of
his career, and everyone just kicked back and we wanted to see how's he going to respond to this. Because for the first time, it looked like you got a bogeyman fighter right now.
Yeah.
Barak looks like he's got your number. Anyway, look, let's get through the overview.
One more point.
I'm getting too gassed.
Touch before we finish on his junior career.
Go on.
Most of them finals were 9-0.
Bro, let's start this from now. Let's get this in from now, yeah? It's not even that he was medaling so consistently as a junior. Because we've seen people do it, yeah? Uga Aktas is another one, yeah? Mad consistent as a junior.
Even Sandam.
Ere Sandam as well. Even Tuba Yakan, if you look at some of the female fighters, we're going to Europeans, clapping down medals consistently. Cool, that's one thing. It's not just that he was doing that. The way in which he was doing it, like that's unnatural. Don is getting to finals consistently and consistently wrapping people up 8-9-0. Actually, Ere Sandam, he used to do that as a junior as well, yeah? But Da Costa...
The flamboyance.
And
this is what I'm saying. I can never get this image out of my head. I didn't go to it, but I'm pretty sure it was the Europeans in Portugal. And he fought Germany in the final, wrapped him 9-0, and there's a still image of when he runs and he does his backflip, and the guys in the background smiling,
innit?
No,
because he knew.
Because there's a level to this.
As a junior, there was only one event that I saw where he didn't wrap up in his final, and that was 2013 Konya. He fought a boy called Chris from Denmark, and I can't remember the score. It was close. It might have been like a 2-1 or something like that, and it was a close fight and it was tight. That is the only time outside of under 21, if we're talking prior to under 21, only time I'd seen him troubled. But the way that he was wrapping people up was unnatural. Like, I'm seeing him catch people with Urage, and they're mid-air. There's a picture. There's a picture from Junior Worlds 2013. I think he's fighting like Egypt or something, and the boy must have done a Kazami, and he's mid-air, and he's just leaned back, and you just see it.
The pictures even got face masks on.
Wrap.
The pictures that he's wearing a face mask. This is back when we used to wear face masks. 14 to 15, and he's looking. And this is what I'm trying to say. Then you can see the under 21s came, and it was the Barak saga, and it was a bit. And then he transitioned into senior, and again, still he wasn't getting it his own way because his early seniors, some participations.
I remember his first senior event, because I believe his first senior event. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was 2016 Paris Open.
15.
It
was Paris Open.
15. 2015 Paris Open. I remember because it was my first Paris Open as well. You feel me? And I remember he fought Niazi Aliyev in the first round, yeah?
Yes, I can remember in the first round.
And Niazi wrapped him.
Yeah.
Like 8-0.
And everyone was like, ooh.
Clapped him with a tune and watch off the line, yeah? And it was like an earthquake had shook. Like, it was like, yo, what's going on? And I remember I chatted to my father, I was like, yeah, he's been baptized, you get me? Like, that's, everyone goes through it. You know, when you step into seniors, someone's got to baptize you. Someone's got to put that heat on you.
Yeah.
Like,
so you know the level.
And he held it, yeah? But not only did he hold it, like, he held it in France, like it was the Paris Open, like, he's a big name, innit? Like, everyone watched it. He had to deal with that disappointment. Yeah, 2015, cool, safe. Later that year now, has gone senior Europeans, and he's lost for a bronze medal.
Yeah.
But qualified for Baku.
Yeah.
He's gone to Baku European Games, he's made the final, yeah? So he's almost starting to rectify them early tribulations that he was experiencing in the seniors, yeah?
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, he bucks Barak, yeah? And Barak was a problem for him at the time, yeah? And to be fair, European Games, he brought it back in the end with the spinning array, yeah? But Barak mashed work, and it was right that the decision went to him, because he was calculated, his timing was on point, attacking on triggers, whatever, yeah? Cool. So what now? Later that same year now, Indonesia World Championships, he's in the final against Barak again.
Yeah.
Barak now takes him out 3-0. Yeah. So now we're like, right, there's a pattern now, something's going on.
Yeah.
Several months later, we're in Cyprus, under 21 Europeans.
Yeah.
Barak gets him again.
Yeah.
So we're thinking, this is the one. This is the one who we can.
Yeah.
It's levels. It's looking like it's levels. You get me? So from going, look, for most people, taking a silver at a European Games, under 21 World Championships and under 21 European Championships back to back, is an amazing accomplishment for most people. But he's not even used to that colour medal.
Yeah.
Like, he's looking at that silver, like,
That's
you're
on the
looking
second shelf. That's on the bottom shelf at home.
unfamiliar. Do you get me? Like, so he's having to go through, he's having to deal with this disappointment, and that's what I'm saying. It was interesting to see how he turned it around, because by the time we've gone to 2016, Europeans Montpellier, he's taken a gold medal.
Back at home again. He's got a lot to prove.
Yeah, he's got a lot to prove. He's taken that gold medal, and I'm pretty sure he took out Jordan in the semis as well. And Jordan at that time is a former European champion, maybe 2 years before. So he's beating caliber fighters at senior level anyway. Even before that, bro, when he stepped into seniors, I remember that same year, 2015, he come Dutch Open. And he lost. Who he lost to? He lost to Redouane from Morocco. Redouane, techie, innit? Like, techie, So he lost to Redouane, but he was putting it on bare guys. Put it on, I think maybe he fought Stefan Pocconi. He fought Terra Agalazarade, and he slapped him with some mad ura, I remember. That was the competition. There's some iconic technique of his.
The one step up.
The Iraqi. But imagine, as he went to do it, the referee called it for passivity.
Oh, man.
So imagine he's swept in now, and all the flags have gone up, and the referees had to look at him like, I said, yeah, mate. But it's minor, because he went on to wrap him 8-0 anyway. Cool. But he was doing his thing, cool. So 2016, he's taken this gold medal, Montpellier. He's then gone to senior World Championships later on, and he's taken a bronze. And like we touched on earlier, I'd never seen anyone so miserable. Like, I've never seen anyone look so disappointed standing on a World Championship podium. Like, this, he just looked deflated.
Did you Jordan? No,
he lost to Tedeschi. But bear in mind, he'd beat both of them. Like, that year already, he'd beaten Jordan at Europeans. He'd beaten Tedeschi. If not Europeans, he'd beaten him that year.
Been Europeans.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So he's standing on this podium, looking to his, bronze?
Yeah, to his right.
To his right, and he's looking at people that he spun this year. Yeah. And the weight of that, that emotion he must have been feeling was so great that he beat Barak for that bronze.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be gassed.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to,
Nah, you know the ones that I've just got on for the picture. As soon as the cameras go down,
but he beat Barak for it. So I thought it was gonna meet. I thought it would.
Yeah.
I'm sure it did hold weight in it. But for us watching, it was like he's finally.
Yeah, he's working it out.
Because when we saw that matchup for the bronze medal, a lot of us would have felt like, okay, Barak might take this then. Because look at previous. We know what it's like at this platform when they come against each other. To have that disappointment in 2016 and to almost make that guarantee to yourself, I'm not experiencing this feeling again. By the time I come back in 2 years,
I need to be a different beast.
This is going to be a different story. And that's why I say his world title was inevitable. Because we've come 2018 now, and he's wrapping Don's up. And now let's look at the final that he had with Vincius Figueira in 2018. Vincius hit him with a dirty technique. What? That Kazami back leg Jordan Mawash hit him flush. My pops, I heard my pops told me that apparently he was in the warm-up area prior to that, just drilling that. Apparently, this is what I heard. Vinicius, this is what I heard. He was drilling that technique, boom, and he's come out now
and just lashed him,
and it's flush. like it couldn't be cleaner. Innit? It couldn't be cleaner. Everyone's hands on heads, like, yo, you get me, bro.
I said, all right.
Mama said, all right. Slap man in the corner. And she what? Swept him. Took that back ASAP. Yeah, cool. Then Vinicius has caught him with the Chudan. With the Chudan Mawash. Looked at Olivier. It's cool. Man's got this. You get me? Slapped him with the Ura. Like, just his ability to win. Like, to find points. Come on. And we're not even talking recent time. We're not even getting onto the Paris Open final. I know.
Listen, and all I'm going to say, like, the product of the system, the product of the environment, the product of the tailored coaching. And I think, obviously, from my time being in Manchester and being part of that setup and then being able to go to France for a while and see, I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Speak on it, man. Shout out.
Bro, we was doing a thing, yeah? We was trying a thing, let's be honest. But we got there, yeah? And we was there. And we was training. And it was like a campus kind of feel, and there was the training hall, and Japan was there. Some of the French were there, the national team were there, and there was a few, Vinicius was there, and there was a few from South America. But we're training, maybe sometimes 2-3 sessions a day, yeah? Training. All right, but the Costa's not coming to all these sessions. Yeah? All right, cool. Because bear in mind, now, obviously, him and Jordan are direct competition.
Yeah.
The Costa's not coming to all these trainings. All right, cool. And then one day we had a training session, and we got there a little bit early for this training session. And the Costa was there with his coach. What's his coach called again? Olivier, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I'm just watching. Like, we got in there, we're sitting there, I'm watching. And this guy is doing this technique, the Costa is doing this technique, yeah. It's just him and him, yeah, doing this technique, yeah. And Olivier's holding the pads. Bam. And he's banging it. Bam, bam. And I'm thinking, all right. And then Olivier stops him and he goes, all right, do it a few times. But again, the room's got like mirrors on the side so you can see. So now he's watching him in the mirror, then he's watching him. And I'm thinking, all right. But now, obviously, as a fighter, as someone who fights a similar weight, I'm thinking, like, how am I going to counter this technique? What's the avenue? And I'm thinking, I've watched him a few times. I got it. Like, there's a tell. Like, before he sets up for this technique, that backhand is dropping. Yeah. And again, when we talk about inches, that's the fine inches you need to find, because otherwise he's going to lash you with that come competition time.
Yeah.
So if Olivier's watching him now, he's like, yeah, come on, allez. I'm thinking, all right. And then about the third or fourth time, he goes, allez. And as he's gone to do it, Olivier's walked to him and tapped that backhand. Bruv, what do you mean? How could he see that? First of all, he must have been looking for it. The competition before I rewatched the footage, he lost a point on that occasion. The next competition, that backhand was stiff up.
Rectified.
And when I'm talking about, that's inches. And this was on a one-on-one session. I then saw him take that into the session and wrap 5 different men with that same technique.
Wow.
And this is, and when I'm talking about inches, because coaches watch techniques of their athletes, but to watch the thing, felt to me like Olivier was analysing him, like, how is the game plan against my fighter coming? And again, but this journey, you've seen him sit in his chair from juniors all the way to now. He knows him. And again, the level of comfort that we were talking about in a separate conversation and the level of trust. My man said to him, that backhand. Carried on another 5. And then he said something to him about his foot, the way he moved his foot, yeah? Picked it up. Lashed man. Did a training session, yeah? Because obviously, like, you do a bit of sparring and stuff. Lashed man, and I thought, lashed the next man, and then it come to me and I thought, you're not lashing me with that, because I've done see that. I've done see this build up, but that's just one athlete. But I know they do that with all of the athletes. And then you wonder why they rise to the cream of all of their sections. Because if I've got a guy who understands me as a person, understands how to correct me, understands my abilities, and then fixes me in a way and then tells me, go out and just do what we've practiced, I can afford to just backstep. That one against it, Brian Ramrock from USA winning.
Yeah.
Backstep, boom.
Then
Sweet,
drop
boom.
the leg, yeah.
And this is what I'm trying to say, but it's the confidence in the ability. And again, people think he ain't got hands.
Bro,
but he's got hands.
The hands are techie, man.
This is what I'm saying. But then it flips because then before that, I had to fight him once at a competition in Basel. In that same competition.
Basel, yeah, I remember. I watched the fight. And you lost it in the last second.
I'm not going to lie, I was gassed because I had to drop 5 kilos on the day before because I was overweight.
Okay.
Because we went to, where did we go? We went to Germany before that, and I flamed out, had a fantastic warm-up, flamed out first one, I was vexed, didn't diet properly, cut the weight. And I went to my dad, the real OG of tactics, before the fight. I said, Dad, you need to tell me what's the game plan, what's the strategy. And I'll never forget, he said to me, if you go downstairs now and make this an open fight, he could 9-0 you. Yeah? But this is, when you talk to someone you're comfortable with, this is not me doubting my dad's ability, but this is my dad thinking about this as a matchup. He said to me, go down there, keep it compact. Yeah? Frustrate him. At this time in his career, because this was before his World Championship, his attacking array is not as great as his defensive counter array. That counter array is phenomenal. Yeah? Frustrate him. Pressure, release the pressure, spin him round, frustrate him. When he attacks, smother. When he attacks, break off. And believe me when I tell you, you're going to get this opportunity to score. And when you see the opportunity, you need to take the opportunity. Yeah,
you need to take it.
Alright. Yeah, man, I'm gassed now.
Yeah.
I'm already gassed because I'm tired, but my dad has gassed me. Because he said to me now, you've got the skill set to frustrate him and you're going to get this opportunity. So again, but from the neutrals, I made it look like, not like he was bullying me, but he was in the ascendancy.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm going and I'm waiting for this opportunity.
But people don't know you as a fighter.
But people don't know me as a fighter to know this.
They don't know that you're calculating the whole fight.
This footage is probably still on YouTube now.
It's there. I watched it the other day.
You could probably search it.
Yeah.
And it gets to the thing, and no word of a lie, I'm thinking, But again, when I fight, I can hear, obviously, my dad, because I know the voice and he's loud, Everyone who knows my dad knows my dad is loud, But no matter how loud it is,
Big up, Gary, man.
I can still hear my man, And it's like, not yet. People think, what the fuck is this guy talking about? And then, no word of a lie, with about 15 seconds to go, I could feel it coming. I could feel the desperation. Because bear in mind, the 3 rounds before, he 9-0'd man. Comfy. And now I'm not giving him that. Boom. And then I can remember we was in, the coaches are here, we were in the top right corner, and he's gone to press me, and I've zigged out, boom, and no word of a lie, I set, and as I saw him spin round, in my direction, to try and track me, I saw the opportunity, I'm thinking, and then I was so tired, my back leg slipped, and I went to throw the gack, and then he caught me, picked me off with the Kazami, and then I didn't even hold my head down because the game plan worked. I just wasn't fit enough to execute the game plan. So I'm upset. Obviously, I got a fight at Replicharge. I cut the person in Replicharge. I can't remember where he was from. And then obviously, it was the Jordan versus Da Costa final. So I've gone to Jordan and I'm trying to gas him because I think that at this competition now, Jordan can beat him. Again, they've had their history. They've had a few clashes, but Jordan's got a skill set that can beat him. So I'm talking to him. I'm like, you can make it an open fight because I can feel you can bang for bang, head kick for head kick. But there's going to become a time in the fight you're going to have to lock it down, and go into this ultra lockdown mode, And don't try exchange with him how you're exchanging. And if you watch the fight, it's 3-0, 3-3, 6-3. And then Jordan goes up at one stage. I think it might be 7-6 or 8-6. And in my head, I'm thinking, this is the moment. This is the moment now. Lock it off.
Yeah, park that bus.
That game we're playing, stop that. Lock it off. But he didn't. And then it was 9-6. And it kept on going. I think it got up to 11 or 12 or 13. And Da Costa went on to win the fight. And I'm thinking, he's gettable. You can get him. But it takes an educated person who understands the fighter that they're sending into this battle to calculate. And I think most people go in there hoping for the best.
Alright, watch this now,
Yeah.
What year was this? Probably about what, 17, 18?
17, 18.
Cool. You could have got him. Let me say something right now. The DaCosta that I'm seeing right now, the DaCosta that turned up at the Paris Open 2020, that's a different DaCosta.
That's a different DaCosta.
I can chat on this now, because you know when you're still competing, your pride stops you from giving man their props. When you know man is 30, like he's hard shelling, but because you're competing, your pride,
you're not trying to give it to him.
You're not trying. So my man's like, he does his thing. He's like, he matches work. But I'm telling you now, there are certain fighters that are naturally talented. Natural talent, certain fighters are naturally talented. Aki, there are certain fighters that are gifted.
Gifted.
And that is a level, bro.
You can't attain
that gift,
You can't attain it.
That gift comes from God, dog. That's God gifted, like, as in, like, that's been destined, that's lined up. And I could chat like that now, innit? I'm telling you now, DaCosta there is a bad boy. Like, bro, like, I see him land a technique at the Paris Open, He landed this technique at the Paris Open where, because I was fighting in repechage, I think this was 2016, and he was fighting in a mat above me. He put up a Uruma wash, and as he put up this Uruma wash, the boy tried to almost like pivot around him. There's footage of this somewhere. I've tried to find it, but I can't find it. But it's out there. He's put up this aura, and the boy's tried to pivot around him. So as he's dropped the foot, he's looking this way, but the boy's almost behind him. Man didn't even turn around. Man dropped the foot and just stepped back. Boom, took him. Wow. What? Hey, bro. And imagine that, as I've seen this, as he's put up the aura and the boy's pivoted around him, the boy's like almost, like I'm looking at the boy. So I've just seen him get draped. I've seen him get draped, but let's like, he had to overcompensate so much with the positioning of the foot because he was behind him. It's like muscle memory kicks in, ura down, especially if you're same stance, the ura you drop the leg down, it's almost muscle memory. But if man's foot's out here, you have to make that adjustment, and you're gonna have to think about it, bro. It was automatic. By the time he dropped the leg, he had registered the move already. He knows, boom, there, gone. You get me? Like techie.
And this is where again you appreciate, and I gave him the title of a generational. You can't be the next coming of an Agayev or whatever, because Agayev does Agayev. But his is a bit different.
Nah, he's not Agayev.
He's not Agayev.
He's not Agayev. But if Agayev had to give that torch to anyone,
that's where it's going.
That's DaCosta, and that's what I'm saying. This level of gifted,
it's different.
Is a different level of gifted. This is not natural talent. Like we've seen this happening. People saw Agayev from young and knew he was a problem. I remember Jason telling me he fought Agayev. Obviously, he fought Agayev in 2006 Finland World Championships, and it's an iconic fight. It floats about quite a bit,
Jason Walker.
Yeah, Jason Walker. Cool, safe. But he fought him in 2002 in team. Do you understand? And Jason won that fight, but Jason said to me that he knew from then, this boy is a problem. Like you clock it from early, and then by the time man's coming up, we're talking 2006, 2008, man's winning double gold. Like man's winning man's winning double gold, and none of them were team.
It says volumes.
Do you remember that? Actually, I'm not even gonna get into Agayev because that's gonna. Do you feel me later? Oh, cool. I'm gonna try rein this in it. Stephen Acosta, he's got this technique. This Uruma wash that he's hitting people with. I'm looking at this thinking, this is how you know it's a line for him, because you can do the same Uruma wash, G. But it won't land. It won't. So I think about this when I see Haruna, when I see Haruna land certain kicks, certain spinning kicks, I'll be thinking, you could have done that, you could have done that, you could have done that. But guaranteed, if you done that, it wouldn't have landed. Because you're not him. It's one of them ones, like, he be stepping up, no preparation, no testing, no pulling, and just lashing people Uruma wash, toe to toe.
Do you know what I think it is? And again, I can analyse a bit because I've been in front of the scenario, and it feels almost like a seamless movement.
It is, bro.
And the only time I've ever seen that otherwise is Ian hit me with one of them at pre-training. I don't know if you remember, for our junior Europeans, when we was training at Icon, and we was doing the drill like you fight a bit and then it's first to score. and I didn't have a partner. Like I think this was the second time. The first one, I mashed work. I took everyone out at the camp it was a pre-train, and the second time Ian jumped in. Yeah,
this is Ian Cole, by the way.
Ian Cole, by the way,
former, yeah,
world title. Yeah. He jumped in now, and obviously I'm not 6 foot odd, innit? So I'm fighting my man now. Boom, boom, boom. I'm fighting him, yeah. Like, messing around a bit. And then they've gone like, yeah, mate, yeah. I mean, they've gone like, Hajime, yeah, as in to start the first to score. And from nowhere, yeah, I've seen the double Jodan. Boom, boom, yeah. I blocked it.
Yeah.
The next thing I knew, I was clapped in the head with a kick.
I know exactly what technique he hit
I
with as well.
can't see where it's come from.
Yeah.
And it's similar with the Costa. When you stand in front of him,
Yeah.
I think he gets away with it because the framework that he carries on this step in, it doesn't even look like he's moved. So
this is what I was about to. This is literally what I was about to touch on. So land your point.
Before you realise, the foot's here.
Yeah, it's there. So watch this. I was preying it. Yeah, I was preying it. When all of us that deem ourselves as kickers, we do this slide, innit? Yeah, like we chip with our back foot, and depending on how much leg control you have, some people they have to step up all the way and they'll slide. But some man they got it like that so that they can just half step, lift up, and that's generally how most people deliver their Uruma washes, attacking, because he's attacking with this Ura. It's not counter, like he's putting it on them, So most men are stepping up and sliding. His Uruma washes almost coming like a Bruce Lee kick. Like where the front foot is, that's where his back foot is. That's where his back foot is coming. Like there's no slide. Like his stance is here, and he's just shifting. Boom.
Yeah. So the foot is in the air. It's just taking its position.
So no one's registering it because there's no slide. Yeah. But the most techie thing about that is, when you're trying to put up a ura and someone's timing you kazami, and they'll time you on the slide. So the moment you step up, they'll time you. Even if you try to time this ura, time this kazami, because of this motion, his body posture is so far back. Like even if you try time it, you're just coming over his head, and he's just thinking, "Yeah, cool, I missed that one." But what?
And you know what makes it worse? He's 2 feet land at the same time.
Oh, imagine.
And then he turns around and walks away, and you're thinking to yourself, "Nah, rude." Like when you sit on the sideline, it's rude. And then imagine the person on the floor, because a good percentage of people end up on the floor after that technique.
Yeah.
Somehow, it's rude. You have to then pick yourself up, go back to the line, and even then, you're still trying to compensate how you moved from A to B and hit me without me knowing. And then the next time, he'll just hit you with the kazami.
Yeah.
And again.
And he's got a nice double Jordan as well,
Nice double Jordan. 1-2. And this is what I'm saying, can win from behind. Can win from in front.
Sweeps, takedowns, everything.
And you're talking about a package, and again, I think we digressed a bit, to be honest. But again, this is another one that could have its own little thing, because it's an athlete who, yes, the sky's the limit, and we believe he'll be a prominent figure if he chooses to be and stay in the sport. But he hasn't always had it his own way. He's come through a lot. Early success transformed into a bit of a hard time, then senior success. And then the hurdles that he's overcome in the sieges. Because don't get me wrong, if we was to look at France's talent pool, even from our generation, and maybe just the one above us, and you look at 67, I remember watching Freddie Chain. Freddie Chain at that Junior Europeans beat Azerbaijan 6-0 with 6 techniques, no other techniques the whole fight. He then went on to the Junior World Championships and beat Noah Bish in the final.
I was watching that.
That's what I'm trying to say. And he got there. And obviously at the time he still had Kosu and Roll
up top,
above, so he never transitioned into anything. And then again, Marvin
Garin,
and then still he was competitive with Roll, and then Roll kind of
2014.
Again, he was one that was expected, and it came late. Eventually, like
his world title,
he turned it on that day of the world title. I didn't see it first time, but I heard he was.
I heard he was moving machine,
a different beast.
I see the footage though. Man was hitting people with this back leg Ura that looked like one axe kick, like was bringing it up and just chopping brothers in their face.
Again, different beat, and I think for him that was it. He got what he'd come for. He got his individuals. He got his world title. All right, cool. And then that's when the avenue come. And again, I think Gavin got a shot at a Junior European.
He got a shot,
and he didn't.
It was a senior European.
He got a shot, and he didn't do well.
I
think I can't remember which one it was. It might have been Finland.
Yeah,
it might have been Finland. He didn't do well, and then. But it's too late now because the cost is.
And then by the time 2015 come, Istanbul, it's like you had your shot.
You had your shot.
Sport is so cutthroat.
You had your shot, and the cost is here now, and he's done his thing. But okay, maybe he didn't get it the first time, but the second. But what keeps their faith with him it's the conviction in the performances.
Yeah.
So if we bring it to more recent time, because I remember watching this, because again, I was involved similarly in this qualification start before everything folded where we was, yeah. And I was thinking, okay, cool. Like, you look at him as a name and you're thinking, all right, cool. And then I'll never forget, in 2020, they took him out the cupboard twice, 2 gold medals, and basically told him, that's enough.
Yeah, chill. Yeah,
That is, I didn't see that with anyone else.
Rest
You
up.
come out, yeah. First it was Paris.
Yeah.
All them videos, all them highlights. That, that. Next went to Dubai. That. All right. Okay. Relax. Don't get excited. Go back. You done enough. Bro, I see the rest of their team mashing work at the next competition.
Yeah.
A man's not even there. He's at home thinking.
Yeah.
"Fuck." Then the qualification locked and he got Visa and them things. Karate Man being sponsored by Visa. But when you look at it, the image, the flamboyancy.
Yeah.
Like, if you wanted to sell karate, there you go.
Can I just add as well, yeah? For the record, Luka Maresca is a bad boy fighter. Yeah. He's got mad accolade. You feel me? And the Urma washes is great. Luka Maresca's got this Urma wash where he got the Ura where he can throw it from this close and keep his back straight.
Yeah.
Like, he ain't even
Bendy
bending.
leg, yes.
He's got the bendy leg that just
the hip is
the
coming.
hip, yeah, just wraps around you. He even caught man with it in that fight. I know it was a bit shouldery, but it scored, didn't it? Yeah. That final, yeah. I can't even talk on every single technique you could dissect. The first one, he caught him when he weren't looking, hit him with put out the Yokogeri, step back in, hit him with the Ura. There was the back leg Jordan Mawash as well. But the point that got me was the Yokogeri that he did, like, it's like he skipped into it. It's like he went one way, broke the line, and like, I've never seen a Yokogeri delivered like this. Like, he skipped and like, it's like, he told man, sit down. Like, it's like it was there for a sec. It was almost like a push. Like, it was there, like, sit down.
Yeah.
You get me? Like, and then the last thing was just curtains.
And this is what I'm saying. When you talk about showmanship, let's call it that, yeah? Because it's past flamboyancy.
Yeah.
It's showmanship.
With the iconic.
Yeah, celebrates in the...
Come on, from juniors. Man took that from face mask times, you get me? Ah, cool. I can't remember the last thing that we said. I think we were talking about that final.
Paris Open.
Imagine, we haven't even got through man's medal overview.
Go summarise quickly. I'm not even going to interrupt you.
Alright. Medal overview, yeah? I think we did the junior career already, yeah? So we got Series A gold, K1 level, 3 bronzes, 2 silvers, 8 golds, 2 golds continental, and World Championships, a bronze and a gold. Let's go straight into the stats. We'll just bang through them. So all-time podium percentage, 58.1. The average of the category, 31.2. So levels, slightly below the average of the
all-time
of the pound for pound top 10 at 66%. But he probably makes up part of that percentage anyway. 2020 podium percentage, 100% levels.
2 and done.
Levels.
Qualification complete.
No, not even that though, yeah. On that, performance percentage.
Bruv, don't even get to the average and skip a set. Yeah.
Nah, but do you know what it is? It's not even the average, yeah, but it's... Hold on. I got it. I just got to say something.
Because that average is mental.
No, you said that he went to 2 events.
Yeah, 2020.
In
Dubai
2020.
and Paris.
Yeah. Bro, like, Paris Open, scored 21 points, conceded 4. Then went to Dubai, scored 20, conceded 1. Yeah, you can tell, man. Take
the week off. Take the year off.
Take some months off, bro. Like, crazy, innit? Like, crazy. Anyways, look. Where was we? 2019 podium percentage, 62.5. Yeah? And again, the average of the category is 26.1. It just levels, man. Out of all of his podium level performances, 77.8% of the time, he has made the final. And then he wins 85.7% of his finals.
Consistent. You might as well call him Stephen Consistent.
Stephen the Consistent.
Stephen the Consistent.
Mazza.
When he gets there, it's going to be consistently good.
Yeah, trust me. Look, points scored.
And I think the real interesting thing is probably most of them losses are to the same person.
Yeah, and probably like minuscule margins as well. Like he was averaging 20.5 points in 2020. 2019, he was averaging 8.1. So the level, like that's the thing. He's still so young. Like he's still developing. He's still growing. And I know a lot of French athletes, they tend to retire quite young. But I would like to see where. I want to see the reign. I would like to see where this can go. Do you know what I mean? I really would like to see where this can go. K1 all-time medal percentage, over 50%, 56.5. Podium percentage at World Championships, 100%. Podium percentage at Continental Championships, 40%. Actually, let's just take a look at that quickly. I've got that here.
I think he's got 2 Europeans where 2 or 3 where he didn't medal.
Yeah, 3. There was a little blip where he come out first round to Pokorny, Austria. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Or was it Poland? No, it was Stefan.
Yeah, it wasn't a nobody at all.
Yeah, it was Stefan.
Yeah.
I remember. I think that might have been like 2017 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But his 2 medals at continental level at European Championships are both gold medals. So do you know what? Let's move on, because I think again we could have had a whole episode. We probably do have enough for a whole episode talking about the Costa. So we're gonna move on to the next person on this list. So next fighter that we have is Angelo Crescenzo, Italy, -60. So I'll go straight in for his medal overview. The junior continental level, he's got 2 silvers and a gold. Series A, 2 bronzes. K1 level, 5 bronzes, 7 silvers, 4 gold medals. Continental, 1 bronze, 2 silvers. And World Championships, gold. And that World Championships, if I'm not mistaken, that was his first World Championships. His only World Championships.
Yeah.
Turned up and showed it.
And I
gold.
think
Won 7 rounds for that world title.
It's a transition, because I don't know how much you remember of his junior European gold medal, because you was there.
Was I there?
Yeah, come on, Serbia.
Oh, okay.
55s he was. 55s.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was on cloud 9 Serbia time. So
55s, and then it was.
What was that, junior or under 21?
Junior. Yeah, and then it was a bit of a battle, because him and Maresca.
Well, both fighting for -60.
For the -60, and I think.
But Maresca held it down for quite a while.
Yeah. It was a long.
Because he only
period.
moved up to 67. 2000 and it was that Paris Open first time I saw him.
It was a long period, because his first senior Europeans was in 2000, and looks like now 2017.
Yeah. Okay.
And considering he's been competing as a senior since 2016, right. 2011.
Grafting. You have to. Do you know?
You had to dislodge him.
Grafting.
You have to dislodge him.
Grafting without the number 1 spot, to gain the number 1 spot, to turn up at World Championships, win 7 rounds, clap gold. You know how packed that category is.
Yeah, and you're the new fish in the fry.
You're the new fish. That category is stacked.
Yeah.
Darkan, Sajruddin Saimatov, Ere Sandan, Douglas Bros. That category is stacked.
You can go on and on and on. And then if you think his transition, obviously, once he did get that berth at the Europeans, took the bronze, then the next year took the silver. You're thinking, okay, it's coming again. And that same year where he took the silver is where he's taking the gold at the World Championships. So it's the fruit of a hard graft. And again, technically gifted. I remember watching him as a junior, gifted. I thought, yeah, I could see it.
He's got
him.
it.
Yeah, because Maresca also medalled at
in Serbia.
Yeah, 61s.
Okay.
Yeah. So, because again, that was the year that Ryan J moved up 61, lost first round to Romania.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I remember this because the 2 prior Europeans that he'd been to, he took gold
and
back to back.
This is what I'm saying. And then it's like the hard grind to dislodge someone who's been in that position for so long. We talk about the depth of the talent pool, but then when you talk about him technically gifted, like to come out of seemingly left field, dislodge your guy and still take the medals that he should have been taking is phenomenal, especially the depth of that competition.
Yeah, crazy.
And when you get back to his statistics, like podium percentage at Continental Championships, 100%. Podium potential at World Championships, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we get to the big stage, I'm going to deliver you a result. Okay, my all-time might be a bit low compared to the top athletes. Again, still better at 40% than the -60s at 33.5 and Male Kumite in general at 33.8. But when we get to the meat on the bones, when it really matters,
you deliver.
I'm going to deliver.
Yeah, you deliver.
Have faith in me. Put me in there, coach, because I'm going to deliver. And it's crazy just to think that this wasn't his, if you know what I mean. He took it. Again, it's a different hunger. So he's got that hunger that I'm going to have to take what's mine. And now I'm here. I'm going to get all the accolades.
Yeah. Crazy. Big up Ryan J as well, by the way. Bad boy fighter. Big up, big up. 2020 points average, 13.8. So, nice. The average of the category, the average of the -60 category, 9.8. The average of Male Kumite, 8.9. So, and was conceding 3. Average 3.
It says it all. If you look at the previous year, the 2019 scores, again, with his average of 11.94 and 7.7 against, let's just say 12 and 8, it's a 4-point gap, whereas now that's a 10-point gap, almost 11.
Yeah.
And you can see no first-round losses in 2020. He's tightening up his game. He's screwing it. It's like a screw in it. He's got the Allen key and he's winding it in and it's getting tighter and tighter till there's no room for you to make these errors and for you to get this. And it's like...
Yeah. So how old do you think he is now? He must be a bit younger than you, yeah? If he was a junior in Serbia, you was under 21. Same age as... No, I was a cadet in Serbia.
Was you a cadet?
Yeah.
Yes. So it might be about...
So in between me and... Yeah.
26,
Okay,
27.
cool. So he's still got some time as well.
Still got some time.
I think that 2018 was his first World Championships. Like, he's definitely still got a lot more in him. Do you know what I mean?
Again, that's if he's not dislodged by
a younger
Italian.
Yeah.
Or because obviously the pool's quite deep. Because obviously Maresca moved up to 67 and dislodged the... I'm going to say his name was Giovanni... One guy who he dislodged has a silver medal from a European Championship senior as well, but that's his only medal. I don't think he's got many junior medals. But again, you talk about quality in depth, and I know they've got that police setup for half of them, and the other half are in a different kind of setup.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, bro, you get paid full time to just train and put on a police uniform and do your police duties.
Yeah.
It's a different kettle of fish and fight style again. But again, I think similar with the females, when you get to the -60, technically very gifted.
Yeah.
Like ability to execute individual techniques very high. Like the kicks super sharp. Because at that speed you need to be, because you can't be labouring with that leg up. Again, even if you touch into 67s, super sharp, super agile. Mat movement is key. Darkan, Da Costa, Angelo.
Yeah,
Crescenzo. Super sharp movements.
Yeah, his ring craft is elite. He's not even like, to watch him, he's not the most entertaining.
No.
Because he's a counter fighter.
Yeah.
But if you appreciate ring craft, then you will appreciate him, because his ring craft is hard. Like he's constantly a moving target. He's constantly setting traps. He's constantly giving people full senses of security, manipulating distance, springing when people are not expecting him to be springing, and that's why he's got the success that he has. He's difficult to anticipate, but again, when you watch him, you may not get that.
Yeah.
But if you're really watching, like
you're gonna pick it out.
Yeah, you'll pick it.
You're gonna see that through the sport. And again, he was trajected on a great finish because he had the 2 medals in his last 2 K1s. Like, he was on the cusp of going there. And again, in the field which has your Darkans, your Sadrudins, your 2 Turks. Again, we haven't even really mentioned France in this -60, but again, Lopez, and they got another one I want to say in there as well.
Begin with A.
Yeah.
I think his surname might have been Sufyan.
Yeah, I don't want to mispronounce it, but again, Macedonia is a big player in there. There's one in there, and you're thinking, you've basically come from left field, and you belong in the cluster. But again, Ringcraft, phenomenal.
Yeah, no, you got big fighters in there, man. Even Farzeliev, Plakutin from Russia.
Yeah. What about what's his
name?
name?
Emil Pavlov.
Macedonia.
Guys, yeah.
You got Latvia.
Calvin Calvis. Yeah. So all of these guys, mad consistent. But I don't know. The one that I got my eye on at the moment is definitely Osama Edari. Trust me, from Morocco. I promise you now, that boy is gonna do bits. I promise you now.
But yeah, in terms of, let's just wrap him up with in terms of where he's sitting and where he's standing apart from the rankings. So he is the number 2 ranked -16.
Yeah.
With Sam Dunn on his trail, but the gap is quite big. It's about 800 points. So he's got a bit of room for manoeuvrability, because I think when you win a K1, you could get most about 750, 900 points. So again, but that would involve him not meddling or not getting through any rounds, which again is a high non-factor, because I believe if he does turn up to an event, again, he's going to get through a round or 2 minimum. So he's got it all to lose, really.
Yeah.
And you know that they're camping, you know they're training hard, so he should be all right.
Agreed. Should we wrap that up?
Yeah.
Cool. The next fighter that we have is Vinicius Figueira from Brazil, -67. I'll go straight into his medals overview. Doesn't have any junior medals. At Series A level, he's got 3 silvers. At Karate 1 Premier League, 3 bronzes, 7 silvers, 2 golds. At Continental level, he's got 3 bronzes and 1 silver. And at World Championship level, he has a bronze and a silver. And obviously, he took that bronze in 2014 in Bremen, because that's the fight he beat Jordan for bronze. He caught him with that front leg mawash. Yeah. He has a very nice setup. I don't see him do it as much anymore. Maybe people were starting to work it out and attack him on the trigger, but that push knee up was nice, because he pushed knee up, sometimes go under, sometimes go over, sometimes pull it in. So yeah, it used to work well for him. But he's someone who you can tell thinks hard about his techniques, the technicality of his techniques. Yeah. They're not just generic techniques. No. They all got a personal adaptation, a personal twist, and that's why he's able to execute and land techniques like he did against Acosta in that final
in unique ways.
Do you know what I mean?
And that's what the creativity aspect of him is high. But again, one thing that if you watch him or you've seen a snippet of it, the work rate is through the roof.
Pressure. So much pressure.
Like, he's building a literal canister on that mat. That's going to explode.
That's going to explode. That's such a good analogy as well, because it literally is like that. He's literally on people's biting point all the time, like just looking menacing all the time. Even if he's not coming, you feel like he is. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that was a good.
But no, again, energy. Seeing him in that training camp, the intensity carries over from his training into his competition. So it's organic, and then he's always there or thereabouts. And again, he might turn the fight a bit scrappy.
He's got that side. Yeah,
he's got that physicality that again is probably maybe more of a -75 fighter than a -67, but he culminates it with his unique flow of techniques.
Barry, carry on.
Obviously, he culminates it with his unique flow of techniques that gets him his scores. And again, when you're talking about someone who is a prominent player in the division, multiple world medals, again there or thereabouts, in that 2014, I'm sure in the
2016 he lost for bronze as well. So he's contested for a medal 3 years in a row, because he lost to Andreas Madeira
for bronze. And this is what I'm trying to say. He's there. And then the 2018 back in the final against Acosta again, and everybody knows what a glorious fight that was.
But super consistency as well, when you really think about it, I mean, like he's gone to 2014 World Championships and no one really knew who he was. He's lost to William Roll. He's climbed through, obviously, rep. He's made that final. He come back from down on points for that bronze medal match and come back to win. 2016 gets beat in the second round by Jordan 8-0. Would demoralise a lot of people, especially considering you beat him for that bronze medal 2 years before. But has even then still kept the consistency, the composure, the self-discipline to climb back through repechage to make that bronze medal match. It shows that he belongs in that top tier. He belongs there. He's of that caliber, most definitely.
And when you think, and we look at the numbers again, I think he's one of those athletes whose numbers don't reflect what you see, because his all-time podium percentage is 36.8. Again, it is just about higher than the -67s and the all males. But when you rank him against the top 10 pound for pound, it doesn't compare. Similarly with his podiums from 2020, his podium percentage from 2019, again,
it's higher than the average, but when you compare it to the top tier,
but again, does that really denote to maybe the scrappy nature of his fights or his techniques, or what is it do you think that factors to bring him kind of close to the bunch in that respect?
I don't know, like let's see how often he is competing in comparison to everyone else. Because look, so in 2019 he competed in 12 events, and I think that's the maximum events that people competed in. You know, like Da Costa competed in 8. There was a few others that competed in 12 as well. Ali El Sawi from Egypt, Barak Oiga from Turkey. So there was a few. In 2020, again, competed in four events. So he's competing regularly. He rarely misses competitions. And in comparison to some others, you know, if you compete less, I guess ultimately
Brings your average up if you do
it's
well.
easier to an extent to hold that average, yeah? Because, you know, if you've been to 2 events and you've medalled at 1, technically your percentage there is going to be 50%.
Yeah.
If you had gone to 4 more, you don't know if you would have maintained that consistency. Luckily, when we come to these averages, the majority of them are taken from more information than obviously 2 events. They're taken from a collection of a whole year span, essentially. But he does compete often. He competes a lot.
And again, with that intensity, some of them could probably be burnout, because then you're thinking about rounds upon rounds upon rounds
and
travel,
speed,
that level, that speed, that intensity. There is the theory of it. You will burn out eventually. And that could maybe be hampering some of his stats. But
potentially, speaking of rounds, 2014, he fought 14 rounds. He won 14 rounds in 2020, and the average of minus 67 was 8. So you can see it there already. And even in 2019, he won 33 rounds. That, to be fair, that was about average. The average of the category was 31. The average of Male Kumite was 32. The average of the top 10 pound for pound was 51. So he's there and he's consistent. But I feel like just maybe due to his how active he is, and maybe he is one of them competitors that turn it on the main stage.
Yeah.
So you might best him at a K1, you might best him at a Series A, but if you can best him at a World Championships, because that is when you're going to see the best him.
Yeah.
That is the best
everything
him.
leads in the build into that. All the experience
He
throughout the
periodizes
year,
well, you know.
build into that one performance, and again, it reflects in his high podium percentage at World Championships, 66.7%, which again is in line with the top 10 athletes. On the biggest stage, which again we know the Olympics will be, he's up there.
Yeah, definitely. Shall we move on to our last?
Yeah, and I think when I think about Japanese athletes qualifying for this, again, it's a bit surprising for me, because I would have, again, if you asked me for my pre-favorite, I would have went with there's 2 in 67, Gomo and
Hiroto Shinohara, and then you got Hiroto Gomyo.
I would have said that one of these, but this young guy turned it on, and I remember watching him at, I think, 2 or 3 back-to-back competitions. And again, when we talk about peaking at the right time, it was the right period. And if I'm not mistaken, he did make the world final, didn't he? In minus 60, or he was thereabout. Nagato.
Sago Nato. Yeah. He did. 2018, because he beat Cuba.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm saying. Like,
close fight as well.
He came out and just
big up Cuba.
When it came, his first world title, first championship, when it came up to it, he was there at the right time, on the right stage, with the right performance. Which again, because his others comparisons in the minus 67 didn't do well, it springboards him and puts him as the highest ranked out of them all. Which again, it's where you want to be going into this. And for comparison, he is only 200 points ahead, because the body of work is still very young for him.
Yeah.
In terms of where he's been and what he's done. But my hat goes off to anyone who can turn up first time World Championship and put in a performance like that.
Innit? Because when you look at the podium percentages, it's not that deep, to be honest. But all-time podium percentage is 14.3. When you compare that directly with the averages, it's significantly lower. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if his podium percentage for 2020 was 0, and he did compete. He was unable to attain a medal in 2020. 2019 podium percentage 16.7. So again, significantly lower than the averages.
Yeah. But what it seems in recent time, if he is going to get there, he's going to get to that final, because his 2 medals in 2019 are silver medals. He's took that silver medal in the World Championship.
Where was his other silver medal?
He's got one in a K1A in Chile and one in both K1As. The other one in Canada. But again, the experience and the ability to compete on the K1 stage, he's not turning those into medals, but he's kind of skipped a step, if you want to think about it that way, and turned up on the biggest stage.
And to be honest, all he really has to do is focus on executing on this day.
Yeah.
And from what we've seen of him, he can do that.
Yeah. And when I mean, next thing I know, I saw him on JKF fan videos, and I was thinking, yeah, okay. And you see, and then obviously he's linked now with Adidas, and you can see he's growing in confidence and growing in ability and growing in exposure, and he's getting the mat time. And again, I believe he can get there. I believe, again, he doesn't score the most. He doesn't. It's all a mixed bag of stats. There's no real stats that you see here and you think, yeah, that jumps off to me because, yeah, that is levels, and that's where, if I'm going to put him into that top 10. But again, it's a guy who sees the opportunity and he's there. Yeah. And he's living in the moment, and he can produce a performance because his wins do come against big players in the minor 60 section. So all in all, I think he can crank out a result. And again, we talk about having the home nation, having the crowd, having the ability to follow a somewhat normal routine. The food is normal, the signs are normal, the language is normal. Like, it all goes in his favour. Yeah,
and again, look at the pedigree of athletes, of Japanese athletes that will be along, that will be standing beside him at the Olympic Games. You're probably going to have Ken Nishimura in 75, and then you got Ryotaro Araga in 84. Like, that dust rubs off.
Yeah.
You know, when you're standing with pedigree like that,
if you want to talk about pedigree, their pedigree is something else. When you talk about Ken and you talk about Araga, even in training, the pedigree is nuts.
Yeah, Araga is a different.
I've never seen it before.
Remember that period? What was that period? Yeah, it was like 2014 to like 2017.
Yeah, didn't lose.
He didn't lose a fight, and who ended up beating him was someone who we really did. It might have even been Croatia. Ivan.
It was in Dubai. No, I want to say it was in Dubai. Was it not in Dubai?
Okay, maybe it was in Dubai. For some reason, in my memory, it was at an A series that was. It was at an A series that was either. Remember, we did them 2 Series A, back to back, and one was in Guadalajara and one was in Salzburg.
Yeah.
They were like a weekend apart or 2 weekends apart. For some reason, something's in my mind that on one of them weekends, he took it out. But that could have been a different L. Yeah. Maybe. But there was a period of time where he was just going unbeaten. Like, no one was beating him, and like crazy consistency. Again, 3 World Championship finals back to back. I was mad happy for him when he took his gold medal, you know. Even though it was in my category, obviously I would have wished him. If it could have gone to anyone, my man definitely deserved it. Yeah, you've made that final 3 years in a row.
It was Dubai.
Take that. It was Dubai, yeah?
Yeah, it was Dubai. Well, he did finish 7th in Dubai. But again, we're talking a stretch of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consistent gold medals, stretching over a year and a half.
Crazy, man. And some of them big events, Paris Opens.
Paris, Salzburg.
Remember, he won Paris
Germany,
Open 2016.
World Championship, Paris twice.
Paris twice.
Dutch Open. And then obviously went to Dubai and then lost that.
So was one of the Paris's 2017?
Yeah, 2016,
yeah, because,
2017.
So I imagine though, but I bet you he got silver in 2015 as well, innit?
No, fifth in 2015.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
But I thought he fought Porsche in the fight. No, Porsche I thought, was it Goggia or he fought?
Goggia, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Safe. That's fine.
But again, like, the resume is extensive. But anyway, that's divergent.
Yeah.
What we will see is a good show, because this guy is animated, and he will put on a performance that is worthy of his place there. And again,
definitely.
With 1K1 to play, it could change. But for his sake, let's hope it doesn't, and he's able to compete at this event.
Yeah, most definitely.
But, you know, it's fitting, you know, like, we end these podcasts and these episodes talking about Japan and the history of karate, with the goal of really trying to reinvigorate the sport and create more communities, share more information and more knowledge and more experiences. I think it brings everything full circle.
100. Should we wrap this up?
Yeah.
That was a nice way to end the episode. So, that is the end of this episode. We said that this is episode 4, if I'm not mistaken. And again, yeah, that was a breakdown of the lightweight male competitors that had previously qualified for the Olympic Games. We hope you enjoyed the episode. I think we definitely enjoyed speaking on this one.
Yeah.
Some big digressions and a lot of passion and a lot of excitement. Please feel free to follow us on Instagram at Mushin_karate_. Subscribe to the channel. Share the videos, like them. Please comment down below. Comment any of your thoughts, opinions. Get involved when you feel for it. Gavin's handles will also be down below, so make sure you follow him up as well. That is the end of the episode. So we hope to engage with you again soon, and we hope you enjoy the content that we still have coming for you.
I agree. I think, guys, the Olympics is here, but karate is bigger than the Olympics. Let's keep this focus.
Yeah,
and then let's push through.
Yeah.
And let's really be in consideration for further Olympics and further rule changes and stuff, and just really keep the passion alive. It's not over until it's over. There's no yame in it in karate, is there? Really?
There's about to be. Say, you put that camera on me. Watch it now. Yame. Wow. Say.